What's going on with the Kick Sauber Formula 1 team? After an embarrassing 2024 season with only 4 points to their name, they're not aiming for miracles in 2025. They're simply trying to stop their own bleeding. With a brand new driver lineup and Audi looming in their wings for 2026, this is less about comeback glory and more about laying the groundwork for their future. In today's video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the Kick Sauber Formula 1 team heading into 2025. This will be my first part in my series covering all 10 teams, starting with the last place finishers and slowly working my way up to the reigning champions in McLaren. So let's take a look at the team that needs to rebuild, regroup, and get ready for their Audi era. Sauber Motorsports AG are now competing in Formula 1 under the Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber name, but we're simply going to call them Sauber for this video for the sake of my sanity. They've been consistently riding the ever-changing wave of Formula 1. They've evolved as they needed to in order to stay afloat. They were founded in 1970 by the Swiss engineer Peter Sauber, and the team began its journey in hill climb racing before they advanced to the World Sports Car Championship, and by 1993 they were in Formula 1. Operating as an independent team until 2005, Sauber developed a reputation for Swiss precision and general resourcefulness, even though they had limited resources. BMW then acquired the team in 2006, rebranding it as BMW Sauber. This era peaked with Robert Kubica's victory at the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix, a monumental performance for the team. However, BMW left shortly after 2009 due to the global financial crisis, and Sauber was then reacquired by Peter Sauber, keeping the team alive once again. Until 2018, Sauber raced under its original name, reinforcing their status as an independent Formula 1 team that is committed to Formula 1. But being a semi-independent Formula 1 team is difficult. So for the 2019 season, they partnered with Alfa Romeo, all whilst maintaining their operations in Switzerland. This collaboration concluded in 2024, as Sauber had agreed to become the Audi Sports Works team from 2026 onwards. This also meant that they were dropped by their title sponsor, Alfa Romeo. In the interim, they ended up picking up an online gambling casino Stake as their title sponsor for 2024 and 2025. Looking ahead though, they are set to become the Audi Works team for 2026, in a move that positions them as a key player in Formula 1's future. But they have a lot of work to do. Coming from a team who's been battling at the very back of the grid to a team that lives up to the name of Audi Sport is a tough challenge. Now in 2024, they ended up finishing in 10th place, dead last, only 4 points to their name, and their best race finish being 8th in Qatar with Gunayu Zhou. Generally though, the entirety of that 2024 season was notably challenging for Sauber. It was marked by persistent struggles both on the track and off the track. Throughout the season, they had to grasp with many issues, significant issues, often finding themselves at the very back of the grid, on pure pace. The early races didn't help either. They were plagued by operational mishaps, particularly during pit stops to do with their wheel nuts. At the season opener, Valtteri Bottas endured a 52-second pit stop due to a cross-threaded wheel nut, resulting in a 9th place finish. Similar issues plagued subsequent races, including a 28-second pit stop at the Australian Grand Prix, where they ended up losing the wheel nut across the pit lane, which resulted in a €5,000 fine on safety grounds. So to say that Sauber started the season poorly is an understatement. Despite these setbacks though, the team introduced several upgrades throughout the season, including a new front wing in Australia and a revised floor at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. However, these enhancements yielded minimal improvements in their competitiveness. The team's consistent struggles meant they ended dead last with barely any points to their name. Now onto the drivers. Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Gunayu are both in their 3rd year with the team, and they faced a tough season. Bottas managed to outqualify Zhou 21-3 over the season, but he failed to secure any points at all, making it the first time in his whole career he's ever finished a season without scoring a single point. Zhou managed to provide his rare highlight by securing the team's only points with that 8th place in Qatar, but otherwise he was incredibly inconsistent. Overall, Sauber's 2024 season was characterized more by trying to stay alive and waiting for Audi than it was being at peak competitiveness. Of course, it is hard to say without being on the inside, but I really don't think it's a crazy assumption to say they're focused on restructuring for the 2026 regulations, which isn't inherently a bad idea. Now onto the topic of preparing for Audi in 2026. Sauber has made some changes for the 2025 season. Specifically, they announced that Bottas and Zhou would depart from the team at the end of the 2024 season. Instead, they've opted to go with Nico Hulkenberg and rookie Gabriel Bortoleto for 2025. I'm of the opinion this is a classic driver pairing of old school experience and new upcoming talents. I'm not going to go into detail about Hulk, If you do want more information though, you can watch my video on why I think Nico Hulkenberg is underrated. Yes, he hasn't got a podium in 227 race starts, but his qualifying pace, his general consistency, and his ability to get incredible finishes from average cars is impressive. The more interesting one here though is Gabriel Bortoleto, the rookie driver. He's a rising star in motorsport. He's established a strong reputation in the Junior Formula Series, and the Brazilian driver has demonstrated exceptional consistency and adaptability throughout his junior career. He secured back-to-back championship wins in Formula 3 and Formula 2, being only the fourth driver to do this, and his more methodical approach, prioritizing consistent top finishes over raw, dangerous speed, has earned him a reputation as a reliable and strategic driver. Now, Bortoleto clinched that Formula 2 championship in 2024. He showcased he's got an incredible ability to work under pressure. His strategy-focused racing often placed him in the top 6, accumulating consistent points throughout the season, enabling him to secure the title, despite having small challenges and reliability issues throughout that season. He tends to be slightly slower over a single lap compared to some of his rivals like Isaac Hadjar, however, that can always be improved. His current strength lies in his consistent racecraft and his podium finishes. For Sauber in 2025, Bortoleto is a good pick alongside Hulk, who consistently excels where Bortoleto might need improvement, and both drivers are consistent, leaving room for incremental gains and building the right team for 2026. He seems to be a great asset for a team that's trying to punch above their weight. For Bortoleto as well, Sauber isn't a choice with no upside. Yes, he's starting with the worst performing Formula 1 team from the previous year, and he likely deserves a better team, but they are in the middle of rebuilding, and it presents a great opportunity for him to build the team around himself, as well as get a good year to develop without the pressure of a top Formula 1 team, all while setting himself up to be the face of the Audi Sport Formula 1 team. It's not a bad situation to be in. Before we discuss my predictions though, we have to discuss the key staff that's going to run the team, and Sauber's made some good picks. To start with, we've got Matteo Binotto, infamously, or not infamously, known for his stint with Ferrari from 2019 to 2023, and I think it's a good pickup. Binotto has been hired as the Chief Technical Officer and Chief Operating Officer for 2025 onwards. Now, of course, as mentioned, Binotto is known for his time at Ferrari as the team principal, but during this time, he helped improve Ferrari's car in that 2019 to 2022 stint, setting him up for a fairly strong run in 2022 with the Tifosi. However, operational errors and general mistakes ended up dragging down his reputation, leading to a pretty miserable stint overall with the team. For Sauber, however, if they manage to manage him correctly, then they've got a great technical-minded leader, and it seems they're already learning from their past mistakes at Ferrari, as they've made another important hire. Jonathan Wheatley will be the team principal for Sauber's F1 team from 2025 onwards. Now, if you don't already know, Wheatley has been pivotal in Red Bull's dominance, playing a key role in their operational excellence, including race day strategy, logistics, and their pit stop performance. His strength lies with his experience at that top tier team, and it makes him an invaluable asset for Sauber as they aim to elevate their competitiveness to the front of the grid. His knowledge of how to run an efficient race team at the highest level could really help Sauber reduce its operational inefficiencies that plagued them in 2024. There are some red flags, however. Throughout his time at Red Bull, he was always supported by a well-established infrastructure full of incredible people and resources. The challenge will be replicating such performance with a smaller team that's transitioning into that works kind of setup. He's a strong addition. He brings a culture of professionalism and operational sharpness that could really be transformative for the Sauber and Audi Formula 1 team. Now, what should we be expecting for 2025? Are they rebuilding? Are they going to go for a championship? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Sauber is running more on hopes and dreams for this Audi pipe dream at the moment than they are trying to be competitive. Now, for 2025, I'm not expecting anything extraordinary for the team, but I'm hopefully expecting some improvement from 2024. Not that that should be hard. Unfortunately for Bortoleto though, I feel he'll be fighting at the very back of the grid, looking to seize an occasional point here or there. And I don't think they're going to overtake any other team in the Constructors' Championship for 2025. But I'd be happy to be proven wrong. There's also been some non-ideal news though, regarding Audi's engine being poor for 2026. So it might take a little longer than expected for them to come up to speed, even just with the midfield, if they don't end up selling prior. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and subscribe to catch the next video, which will be on the Williams Formula 1 team coming out shortly.